Good morning, this is Will Faber from Art to Ride with my lovely wife Karen and our horse Zoolander, and today we're going to talk about the first and most preliminary and foundation exercise of classical dressage, and that is the leg yield. Everything starts at the leg yield. You can't even do a good circle until you can learn to do a leg yield, because every circle should be a leg yield on the circle. That is, you get the horse to yield away from your inside leg into the outside rein on the circle, and then you will be able to create bend. So how do you do that? First, the position of the rider. You should be in what we call left diagonal position. I'm going to quickly go over the positions. There's basically three neutral positions. You're either in parallel position when the horse is going straight, that is, you have direct contact and both legs are directly behind the girth in the same place. Anytime the horse is bent to the left, you're going to be in left diagonal position, which means your outside leg is going to be slightly back from the hip, being the key to that. Your outside shoulder slightly forward to parallel the shoulders of the horse. And now you can see that I clearly have a position that would allow the horse to bend, all right? So there's parallel position, and there's right diagonal position. Just the opposite, the outside leg back from the hip, outside shoulder just slightly forward, and it's not around like this, it's just a little bit. So just about like that to let your shoulders parallel with the shoulders of the horse. So in the leg yield then, he or she's going to be in left diagonal position. Most important, the biggest mistake most people make is that they try to do this to push the horse over with the rein. That would be a rein yield, or like neck reining. That is not at all what we want, because what we're trying to do is establish that foundation exercise of getting the horse to move from the inside leg into and then stand up to the outside rein. Now you'll know that's correct when you're able to give the inside rein and the horse will stay in the exact same frame. That's when you know the horse is really in the outside rein. That's the importance of that. So it's not that he just moves into it, but not only moves into it, but then allows you to control the position of the shoulders. Of course, this is the preliminary exercise. The next exercise would be shoulder in, where that becomes even more important and the horse has to yield the body away from the rein coming to the inside. So once again, instead of the reins going this way, we want the reins to come this way a little bit. So we just keep him slightly a little bit bent in this direction, not much, just the degree of his body. You know, this is just a preliminary exercise, so we're not expecting the horse to be bent from the entire length of his body. As it develops and the horse bends over the entire length of his body, then we'll have what we call a shoulder in. Okay, before that, we'll have just a shoulder fore, which is meaning the horse isn't bent very much, but we're just displacing the shoulders to the inside. So once again, we're going to start with the leg yield. So we're going to have her walk around now and just walk forward. And I'm just going to have her loop around to the left there and come back to the center line at the other end of the arena. Be sure that she stretches up, puts her shoulder blades into her back, finds her position, the horse centered underneath her. Oops. And then she's going to turn down the center line. Now, when we're first beginning this, we'll begin just as soon as we turn. So we kind of use the momentum of the turn to help us. She puts herself into the correct position, that is left diagonal position. Look how the reins are a little bit to the inside, and the horse begins to step over. Now she needs to let him lead a little bit more with the shoulder. You can see there he's starting to lead a little bit with the hindquarters, so it becomes more difficult for the horse to cross his legs over. So we want the shoulder to maintain the lead in this exercise, and the reason for that is so the horse can clearly step through with the inside hind leg, that the outside hind leg won't get in the way. So just like the half pass as well, the shoulders have to lead very slightly. So she'll try that again here now, keeping the shoulders in advance the entire time. There you go. A little straighter in the neck, doesn't need quite that much bend. There we go, like that. Now the shoulder is clearly leading and he's stepping over. Very nice, and stepping under the center of gravity. And then she'll let him stretch all the way down. That was really a good one, so we want to reward the horse right away for that, letting him stretch out and open the walk up. Remember, our goal in all these exercises is to keep the same rhythm in the gait. That's how we know the horse, it's having a gymnastic quality for the horse. If the horse loses the rhythm, he's basically evading the work. So she's going to let him stretch all the way out, take him down the long side again. Then she'll bring him up a little bit and turn down the center line and do another leg yield to the right. And then we'll change directions. Very nice. He's clearly working over his top line. Nice big step. So remember, once again, our goal is to keep that same rhythm. So let's see how clearly she keeps that same rhythm as she turns this time. Keep the same rhythm in the walk. Her hands move slightly to the inside. There, just like that. His shoulder is leading a little bit. Very nice. Very nice. And that was a good, clear rhythm. A nice step underneath the body. Very nice. And she'll let him stretch out again. Now this time I'll ask her to just do a little change of rein down here wherever she likes, and we'll change the direction and go down the center line at C and leg yield to the left. So now she's going to be in left diagonal position. That means, once again, the outside leg, which is back. I'm sorry, excuse me, she's in right diagonal position going in this direction. Which means her left leg will be back. It'll be bent slightly to the right. Hands will come to the inside and she will leg yield to the left. Keeping the shoulders slightly in advance. Very nice. Just like that. Now you notice that we've started the leg yields from the center line, which is where you should start them. Most horses will more naturally flow from the inside to the outside of the arena. And she'll give them a nice little stretch after that. And now, since that was so nice, there's no need to repeat it. But this time what we're going to do is go large. So the next exercise would be to leg yield from the rail, to change the bend at the rail and leg yield to the center line or across the center line. So she's going to go large this time. She'll probably change her whip along there someplace, having the whip in the predominant hand, which is the inside leg is the predominant leg. So after she goes to the corner, she'll change her whip. And from the next long side, she's going to leg yield right on the diagonal, which means she'll actually be in left diagonal position once again because she's going to change the bend. If she's kept the bend to the right, we'd be doing a half pass, which is a much too difficult exercise for a horse at this level. Very nice. So you see how clearly she changed the bend. She's keeping her shoulder in advance. She kept a very nice rhythm. Just like that. Let him go on right on by in front of us there so the camera can clearly see your leg and rein aids. Very, very, very nice. You can see how he started to bring the shoulder too far to the left, but she straightened that right out again. Beautiful. And we'll do the same thing from the next long side. We're going to leg yield left from the rail, which means the horse will be she'll be in right diagonal position, meaning the horse is going to be bent a little bit to the right. Got a little bit slow there. She came through that corner, lost her rhythm just a little bit. Not a bad leg yield there. She's got it going now. The shoulder is still clearly in advance. Stepping under, that was a little bit more difficult for him in this direction. So we're just going to go to the center line. This time go straight and then track to the left again at C, and we'll do that one more time. Now you notice how he was coming behind the bridle just a little bit in that, because he's got a little bit shortened up. So we want to go back right away and reestablish that forward swing in the walk. So our goal is to keep that forward swing, and we should be able to do these lateral movements also with the horse all the way stretched down if we want to. Beautiful that time. Really nice maintenance of rhythm as you came across there that time. He didn't lose the rhythm as he came through the corner. I'll go right in front of us here. Very, very nice. And that was so good, we let him stretch all the way down now once you get over there. Let him stretch all the way down, always coming back and reestablishing that big walk. So you have the biggest step. You can never get a horse's step too big. You can never get it too big. You're always working to open the horse up in the walk and get its frame out. So now we're going to try the same two exercises in the trot. So when she's ready there, she's going to bring him up a little bit. Really nice walk he has this morning. And she'll go to a trot rising. Right there. Clearly working over his back. And notice that she's not going to try to force him onto the center line. We're going to make a turn that's comfortable for him. So he wasn't quite ready there, so she's going to keep going forward and not try to hit the center line. You'll usually hear me say turn by the center line with the young horses, because I don't care if they hit exactly the center line. I care whether they maintain the rhythm or not. So never get hung up on accuracy in the beginning. And that was what our early dressage tests, for those who have been riding dressage for years, we used to have in a lower level test that demanded the horse be more like a Grand Prix horse than a training level horse. But now they're beginning to let you have more time to develop the exercises as they should. As a young horse like this, if you start trying to make them do everything right at the letter, you'll end up shortening them up in order to do that and ruining their gaits. So I'm happy to say that the classical tests today have become much more classical. Very nice there. And now she's getting there's the one I want, right there. Now see how he clearly maintained the frame, he clearly maintained the rhythm. That was absolutely beautiful. So to reward him, she'll come and give him a little stretch now. So whenever we get something really good, we want to come back to the stretch and show the horse how much we appreciate it by letting him stretch over his top line, relieve the tension in his muscles. Very nice. And you may notice once in a while with him, he's a little behind the bridle. This horse was very broken at the third vertebrae when we took him about 9 months ago. So we've had a lot of work to straighten that out, to get his neck strong again and his back strong. Beautiful trot with him today. So that's why he looks a little bit behind the bridle when we take contact. But all that will straighten out shortly. And now we're going to do the leg yield to the right. Very nice. Good rhythm that time. Got a little bouncy there. So she'll just take him to the rail. Not make a big deal of it. Get him moving forward again, and she'll try again. We have a rule here at Art to Ride, which is repeat, don't beat. Most people are just too happy to beat up on their horses every time they do some little thing wrong. That was really nice that time. Very nice. Now that was a nice clear. Now that time he responded nicely to her leg. He didn't bounce like he was trying to canter like he did the first time around. That was absolutely wonderful, just like that. Very good. So now she'll go large, and we'll do the same exercise where we come off the rail, which is what she's doing there. Very nice. So once we have the center line leg yields, then we can go from the outside to the inside. Very nice. And now she'll do the same thing from the next long side. There he goes. Very nice that time. So it's always a little confusing at first for them because they may think you're wanting to ask them for a canter. He obviously clearly got that time. And now she'll bring him back to a walk and just let him stretch out and reward him in the walk. Very nice. So that's how you begin a horse in the leg yield.